Welcome to Meet JMT, Insights from Within, a series that introduces our industry professionals and provides them the opportunity to share their professional experiences, personal reflections, and sources of inspiration as individuals working in the architecture, engineering, and construction sectors. Welcome everyone, and thanks for joining us. I'm Zach Levine, a digital marketing and engagement specialist for JMT. Today we'll continue to discover more about our industry professionals in our series, Meet JMT, Insights from Within. Joining us now is Randall Young. Thanks for being here, Randall.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Let's jump right in. Here at JMT, what's your position?
I am Vice President, Southeast Regional Practice Director in the transportation sector of JMT. I'm focused in on the business development and brand recognition within the South Carolina and Georgia regions for federal, state, and local opportunities. And I'm based out of Columbia, South Carolina.
We're excited to have you as part of the JMT family. Can I ask first, what inspired you to choose your professional career?
Oh, yes. Thank you. Architecture was my first love. I was good at math, loved to draw, and really had dreams of designing my own home. However, I was introduced to engineering through a summer program for minority students at Clemson University. It was called the Clemson Career Workshop, and it blew me away.
Very cool.
Not only was it challenging and something I thought I could do, but it was also inspiring to see people interested in engineering who shared similar interests and background as me. And in choosing a major, simply I thought civil engineering was the closest architecture that I can find. So kind of went for it.
It's funny how one love can lead us to the next, and that's pretty inspiring.
Absolutely.
Yeah. What did you do after graduating?
Well, after graduating, I took a job with the South Carolina Department of Transportation. And 27 years later, here I am. But I had interned with them for several summers. I was familiar with their work through that process. And I am the son of educators, and public service was in my blood, and service leadership is something I've seen throughout my life. So I thought it would be a great partnership working with SCDOT. After a couple of years being with DOT, I started to get the bug for maybe I want to own my own consulting firm one day. And I went back to school for a master's in business administration. But I quickly learned after graduating from business school and receiving several promotions that with this MBA in hand, maybe I wanted to do more than just open up my own business. I wanted to help develop people both professionally and personally through public service work that we were doing every day. I felt it was a marriage of both service to my community through project development and service to my fellow man through mentorship and support. And that kind of gave me a clear vision of what I wanted to do and what I wanted to be. So upon retiring from SCDOT, I believe that JMT offered the best opportunity to continue in that role. So here I am today.
That's great. I love the kind of line from your parents, the educating and public service background leading kind of through into your professional career and to today.
Yes, absolutely.
Were there any projects in particular that you were involved with that kind of stuck out for you on this journey?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, there's all types of learning lessons that you can take from your job. But I remember one in particular. I had the opportunity to lead a project in the low country of South Carolina. It was a project to develop a new location roadway connecting two major corridors just a mile or two apart from each other. On the surface, it made sense. It was connecting these two major thoroughfares, and it would help with efficiency through the area. So absolutely it made sense. But once we started to develop the project, it really became clear that the project had impacts and unintended consequences to the minority community that surrounded the corridor. And it was something where we began to discuss with the community what the impacts really were to them and how they have felt about those impacts. A Title VI complaint was filed. And once we evaluated and went through those impacts and alternatives, it was determined that the project would not proceed in its current process as a federal project. So we had to back up. And from that, a widening of the parallel route was born, seeing that it performed similarly to the new location roadway without the impacts to the minority community. And going through a process like that, it helped me to see that things are not as simple as lines on a map, that public projects are developed and they need to be evaluated for the possible unintended consequences as well as the perceived benefits. As a PM, we love to go out and promote what we believe are the best needs for a community, but it was also important to understand what the community thinks is best for them and see if those align, but sometimes they do not. So, that taught me that we need to embrace that public engagement is not just something we have to do, but something that we want to do.
It's nice to hear that a community was heard and then everything kind of pivoted to find a solution for everyone, something that worked for everyone. Thank you for sharing that. That's great. Lastly, I think everybody would be interested in kind of what your interests and hobbies are outside of work that have influenced your professional journey.
Everything has. I am a faith believer, and I know that God has a plan for me, whether I understand it or not. There's an old joke that our pastor used to say that if you want to make God laugh, tell him your plans. So, everything in life is a learning lesson, and my faith guides me and teaches me to be intentional in how I treat others and learning that I need to treat others as I want to be treated. So I serve with purpose. And for all those that I may encounter, I want them to know my sincerity and my commitment to doing things the right way and being the best that I can be. I believe that this has helped me become a better servant, leader, manager, colleague, friend, in and out of the industry. Other things that have influenced me, I love spending time with friends and family. I also enjoy time alone on a bike ride or a walk through the neighborhood. I love movies, and I've taken inspiration from movies where I can and try to apply them in everyday life. I love sports, but I also try to look for the commonality rather than the division. I think we have too much division these days. And sports can be a conduit for that. So I try to look for the opportunities to see where, through competition, we can build unity. And, I love people and hearing their stories. I really believe that helps to develop empathy and understanding. Understanding one person's point of view and understanding where they may come from gives a pause really to judgment for when you think that somebody is wrong or when you think that, you may have a disagreement. You kind of take an understanding or you gain an understanding of where they may be coming from. And that gives you a different perspective sometimes. And I think that really helps. So I love hearing people's stories. I love hearing the things that allowed them to grow and mature. And I believe that has helped me grow and mature. So all of that has had an influence on my professional journey. And I hope to continue to learn and grow through those things that I enjoy doing every day, especially now that I'm with JMT.
Profound words. I really share some of those values and hobbies. Part of the reason I'm here talking with you today, I really enjoy hearing about kind of people's journeys and stories. And it's nice to see some of my own values mirrored in company leadership. So thanks for sharing.
Absolutely.
Do you have any kind of last thoughts or parting remarks you'd like to share?
Oh, sure. I mean, it's simply that I'm extremely excited to be a part of JMT. I look forward to learning and growing with my new family. I believe there is a great opportunity to grow JMT, not only in South Carolina and Georgia, but throughout the nation. And I really can't wait to see this company continue to grow and thrive. And I'm really excited to take that next step with JMT.
Thank you for tuning in, and we hope you enjoyed the Meet JMT podcast today. Remember to subscribe, post a review, and of course, encourage your friends and colleagues to do the same.